One of these two will be moving on to the finals. It's going to be GOAT. It's going to be Darthjarjar. Player to watch. It looks like Darthjarjar bringing that, again, Elixir Collector. We got the Lumberjack and then the 3 Musketeers.
A thing to watch is that we haven't seen a ton of miners out in the field before, but we're seeing a lot of miners tonight. It's going to be very hard for Darthjarjar to defend that Elixir Collector against an aggressive, fast miner deck like GOAT's second deck, or first deck on the screen. It just kind of depends on how the matchups go. So far, I've been really, really impressed by his play with the 4, 7, 8, 9, 10 Musketeer deck, but he showed some flaws in his Golem play that maybe GOAT can exploit, especially because GOAT has those excellent Barbarians that we've already seen be very good against Golem.
Yes. How key do you think those are going to be against this matchup?
I think Barbarians are going to be...
yeah, that's MVP.
Barbarians are going to be really, really important, especially because just like Mega Minion and Minion Horde, Barbarians are kind of A+ defensive cards, right? When you play cards on defense, their mobility oftentimes is not a consideration. Sure. They just are, right? When the card comes across, you play them on top of the card, they just start swinging, they start working away. And that's really what gives Barbarians their value. Each one of them swinging once is already more than a mini P.E.K.K.A. swing, and so each of them swinging over and over and over again is a lot of damage that, how do you remove that, right?
Darthjarjar is opening with his Golem deck. GOAT is opening with his Giant Barbarians deck, so we can see the Golem versus Barbarians matchup. But even on top of that, when he goes to his other deck, Barbs are amazing against Giant, and even if Darthjarjar splits his Musketeers, dropping Barbs on top of 2 Musketeers is an Elixir positive trade.
Ooh, punishing the Golem drop with Giant Mega Minion. Does Darthjarjar have the cards in hand to stop this push? And I think the answer might be no. Lets the tower tank a few shots to make sure his Mega Minion will win out that trade, but gets lightninged out anyways. And now the 2 building chasers are going to go for Darthjarjar's King Tower. Lumberjack is the assisting card of choice, and I don't know if Darthjarjar has cycled back to Log. That would help a lot in this situation, and it does come, and the Lumberjack is going to get a ton of damage. Held up by the Ice Golem, but still that main Golem body is really, really healthy, and this Lumberjack is still going, and he might get that trade.
Now he's going to be locked onto by the tower and all the surviving units, but that Rage comes down and lets the Golemites and the Archer behind finish that tower off!
Still, a slightly better trade for GOAT because he got a little bit of damage onto the King Tower. Big problem is, in the fact that GOAT had to defend that push, there's only 35 seconds left to double Elixir time, and I don't know if he can punish with Giant Mega Minion again in this game.
Oh, my first cough or sneeze of the entire Clash Royale North American Open, also making its debut.
Get this man some tea.
I drank like 4 cups.
Oh no.
No, my struggle.
I got to go pee. All right, so you can't really punish your right, and the reason why is that, as Rady pointed out, now that you're in double Elixir time, it's a lot easier to drop down 8 Elixir and still be able to recover quickly to stop the incoming Giant. That Giant punish didn't do much, and now there's a Skeleton Army Lumberjack pushing with a full health Golem.
Oh my god, and keep in mind, Darthjarjar does have the option for an aggressive drop to assist this push in a very unique way, and he's going to choose the Mega Minion. The King Tower wasn't actually locked onto the Golem, however, and the Mega Minion is not long to live, but still that main Golem made it to the tower, and there's a second one on the floor already, and GOAT is still defending the push, meaning that Darthjarjar maintains momentum.
GOAT's defense there was not very great. He played Lightning and then Log in order to stop it. That's 8 Elixir that kind of removes stuff from the field, but not really. Great play by Darthjarjar to get another Golem out while the push was still going on, because it didn't really give his opponent a lot of time to counterattack while making use of his surviving defensive cards.
Barbarians operating as you would expect, doing very well to defend against the Golem. But it still seems like Darthjarjar has the advantage. Good placement on the Tombstone. Notice that both towers are shooting the Giant, and it's going to go for the King Tower. And Darthjarjar is going to split damage up as best he can. And I think so far Darthjarjar's defense and hold on this game in double Elixir is concerning for GOAT.
Look at that. Lumberjack surviving the Lightning just barely, and if he gets hit by a Barb or a Log, he's going to put the Rage effect down, making that Golem move real fast.
Oh, the death damage doesn't quite get there. Another counter Log, but one Golemite does make it. And we'll get a tiny teensy bit of damage. And again, Darthjarjar plays another Golem. It's just never ending.
He's actually getting further and further ahead in Elixir each push. If you look, they're about an even Elixir, but there's only 3 on the board, the Archers, and then compared to the Golem, so Darthjarjar had a good 3 to 4 Elixir advantage. It's allowing him just to keep pushing harder and harder each time.
Lightning may have bought a little bit back into this game, and again, these Barbarians are doing so much damage to the Golem, and really, I think that's the only thing holding GOAT in this game so far.
The inevitability, though, is somewhat favoring the Golem deck. Actually, this is going to be a really good counter push. For the first time, the Barbs have survived and are coming in to exact their revenge on Darthjarjar.
A big issue is that the Mega Minion got eliminated just because it was walking ahead of the Giant.
Oh no.
Gonna allow Darthjarjar to mitigate a lot of the damage that he's getting, but I do expect nice aggressive drop on the Lumberjack means that he can take down that Tombstone much quicker. That Golem gets closer to the tower, but doesn't quite get the death damage done.
They're getting like 200 to 300 damage every push, and actually only that last push was the first time did any real damage get onto Darthjarjar's tower. It's really up to GOAT to make something happen in these counterattacks.
Tombstone on the right. He's going to pull the Giant into the King Tower, I believe. No, it still goes for the Crown Tower, but the Giant is going to... Oh, there is lightning in the deck. Darthjarjar has this in the bag. I don't think there is a way for GOAT to actually do 1690 damage in the time that it'll take Darthjarjar to cycle to lightning.
Going for it.
He's never gonna leave himself open with an 8 elixir golem anymore. He's just cycling as fast as possible to finish him off.
Yep.
Here it is. Looks like it might be in his hand now.
It's the log.
He's just logging it. He's just gonna no lightning. Let's just go for log. Darthjarjar picking up that first game there. 2 crowns. Into overtime.
Really appreciate today Darthjarjar's capability of hanging in there and losing a tower, but understanding that, hey, there is a way. That's just how the trade is going to be, right? There is actually a way that I can trade back. I mean, 8 elixir for Giant Mega Minion, and especially the way that Darthjarjar defended it, letting the Mega Minion tag onto the tower, dropping your own Mega Minion and then taking it out, means that now you have a full health Mega Minion helping you, right? So essentially, 8 elixir, the Giant and the Mega Minion are not actually removing troops off the board. Makes your Golem push now all of a sudden be Golem plus Mega Minion.
Yeah, much better.
Yes, plus archers.
Well, strategically, I think Darthjarjar is probably thrilled that he got a win with his Golem deck first, because he's far more comfortable with the 3 Musketeers deck of his own creation, because not only is it his preferred archetype and strategy, but I guarantee that GOAT doesn't have a lot of experience playing against
That's a good
this
point.
list, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the best advantages of playing off-meta decks is that you know the matchups. I know exactly what the Golem deck has in it for the most part, but they don't really know how to adapt against your deck.
One of the things we talked about against there is GOAT, again, going against Darthjarjar, getting that early tower, and then we were saying against Golem decks, you just gotta defend. Like, you just gotta play defensive until at overtime, boom, you win. Where did that kind of start slipping away for GOAT?
Not having Inferno Tower did kind of come back to bite him, because as you noticed, even though he was defending those pushes well enough, they were slowly but surely getting 200 damage, 300 damage, 200 damage, and finally it wore it down enough that it was just within spell cycle range and you didn't even have to attack anymore.
Ooh, unfortunate for GOAT. The Musketeer did actually lock onto the tower, and so he will actually get that counter trade and makes the game even again. There's the Collector.
Does have a zap.
Oh, nice.
Darthjarjar's deck only, though, in a world where people are running 2 to 3 spells, only 1 in this deck.
Oh my god, perfect Ice Man. I can't believe Darthjarjar still has that skill set. Something that you needed to do very commonly in the previous meta. Place your Ice Spirit just at the right time so that once the Miner pops up, the Miner takes 1 swing on the Ice Spirit, doesn't kill the Ice Spirit, and then the Ice Spirit jumps on it. Actually is a maximum mitigation of damage to the Elixir Collector.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
You learn to stop miners once. Oh, he's going to pull the Mega Minion. Great micro right there. Pulls it away from the Giant that doesn't want to get attacked.
That spacing is immaculate. Actually drops the 3 Musketeers into it. Oh, don't get too close to the Ice Golem. Don't get too close.
Oh, the one did. But that's okay. Does he have Zap again to reset? He does. Use Zap to reset it.
That means he won't have Zap for a Goblin Barrel, though.
Oh, good call. Or even the Skeleton Army getting some damage in there.
Yes, this could be a very dangerous push, and here it comes. How are you going to stop this, Darthjarjar? One Musketeer in the back.
Tournament cap Musketeers, I believe, one-shot goblins.
Yes.
So the nice thing is that unlike archers, which actually I believe the 2 shots fall just short and they have to kind of scramble a little bit to get some damage in there, Musketeer just pop, 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 wipes them out.
Here comes a relatively strong push. Is Darthjarjar going to commit the zap again? Ooh, Musketeer gets 1 shot on the tower. Skeleton Army jostles it out of the way, retargets the Musketeer onto a skeleton, and so
you know what's
fairly
worth
good.
looking at for future exchanges? Darthjarjar might not want to even waste the time. Oh no, the Skeleton Army's going to do a bunch of damage.
Whoa.
A little late for the Ice Golem, unfortunately. What he might want to do is actually just ignore the Inferno Tower and not zap it, instead zap the Skeleton Army around him.
Yes.
Because that Musketeer, because of the far placement of the Inferno Tower, had locked onto the tower. If you zap the Skeleton Army, you might just get more damage out of the Musketeer than you would out of the Giant that's going to die anyways.
Yes, use the Giant to clear the way, use the Musketeer to do the damage, and that actually is... Oh, and he zaps the Inferno Tower again.
What are the 2 cards GOAT hasn't played?
Here comes Goblin Barrel. Mega Minion to try to defend, Ice Golem to try to push the Goblin out of the way, but it stays on the tower.
It's Fireball and and log.
Here might be a Three Musketeer drop. No, Darthjarjar has committed. No, the Inferno Tower is too far. Oh, no.
Log it! You gotta fireball it. That actually might be
There's
good
two
enough.
Mega Minions.
He just has to stay alive
7
for
seconds.
7 seconds.
I don't think he can do it.
Just like
zap.
that. Goat coming back, tying it up 1-1 in the semifinals against Darthjarjar. We're going into game number 3. Both these players want that $2,000, want that ticket.
Darthjarjar only had one opportunity to play Three Musketeers, and it got shut down.
And I think that's the value of these high-tempo, aggressive, minor Goblin Barrel decks is if that deck never waits till 10 Elixir, then you're not usually going to get chances to play your Three Musketeers. Three Musketeers is an archetype that is great against other slow decks. It's a perfect choice now when everyone's just waiting till 10, playing Golem behind the King Tower. Cool, like I have plenty of time to play my Elixir Collectors, to play my Three Musketeers, but these really fast decks, Hog Riders, Miners, Goblin Barrels, all those kind of cards, if they don't wait, what are you going to do? You're going to let it hit your tower while you save up to 9? You know,
What's the strategy now? What did both of these guys do to try to win?
Well, Goat has to switch to his Giant deck, which is a little bit slower. Cards like Barbarians can be okay, kind of depends on how they come out. Giant's really kind of weak against Three Musketeers, but saving grace of Goat, he's got Lightning. So Three Musketeers are going to have to come out behind the King Tower, split, walk away. An advantage, though, is that since there's not Miner, the Elixir Collectors
pretty safe.
might run wild on you, right?
Well, unless Lightning's that.
Yeah, but if you Lightning that, then just play Three Musketeers, right?
Sure.
You can even go something like Ice Golem, Three Musketeers, all in one lane for a very fast 11 Elixir push once that Lightning comes out of the hand.
So the Three Musketeers might be possibly moving on. Like, they have a chance here.
If anyone can do it, Darthjarjar can, but Goat has really impressed me in his first appearance in the Clash Royale North American Open.
We'll see right now. Again, best of 3 tied up 1-1. After this, either Goat or Darthjarjar will be moving on. Let us know.
Barbarians. This was a very key card for Goat's defense of Golems, and I think it will be good defense against Giants as well. Still at 5 for 5, and they do insane amounts of damage, and look at how well they tank. Only one of the skeletons actually makes it, but still, a lot of pressure being put onto Darthjarjar, and that Musketeer is actually going to get injured as well, and another 8 he has to deal with.
This might be a great time for Three Musketeers because... opts not to. That might be a good time for Three Musketeers simply because his opponent didn't have the Elixir to Lightning, so you could have just dumped him out there and you had at least a good couple seconds to wipe out that push.
Yes, instead he takes a lot of damage on his tower. That Mega Minion is flying ahead of the Giant.
Oh wow, just barely.
The shadows.
That's it.
Oh, but the Archer does lock on during the motions. Let's see that. This Giant
going
might
to get
punch
3
away.
swings, I think.
I'm going to go with 4. 2. 3. Oh, 2. Everyone was wrong.
Sell.
Oh, interesting. He's playing a collector in the face of...
Good luck.
Oh, and I think...
Wow.
Oh, he does jump.
But there's too much for the Mega Minion to clear out.
Oh no, I think that Giant is going to take it out. But keep in mind, with 1:20 to go, entering double Elixir time, that's where the Three Musketeer deck wants to be.
Sure. And Elixir Collector's out, so he's Darthjarjar is starting to come back, starting to stabilize from that.
An underrated part of the new and improved, or new and deproved Elixir Collector is that it actually makes 8 Elixir instead of 7 like the old one used to. It costs 6 and produces 8 now. So there's even more Elixir hiding in that pump than it has been in the past.
It's just a little deeper wells.
All right.
Darthjarjar trying to find a way to play Three Musketeers right now, but I don't think he can find the opportunity. Opts to play Mega Minion instead.
There it is.
Start splitting them.
There's the first split. How do you remove all those skeletons on your Giant, though?
Tombstone seems to be like a low-key MVP here. I mean, the Barbs are doing a great job too, but pulling that Giant to the middle and without Darthjarjar having something like a log to help support it, it's been pretty tough.
Here comes an Ice Golem Musketeer push on the right side, and Darthjarjar almost certainly has cycled to his next set of 3 Musketeers, but he's only got 23 seconds left to make something work.
Go.
And it doesn't look like he's
There
got a
it
big
is.
Lightning was actually spent.
Lightning was cast.
Go,
This might
the
work.
push.
Oh, the Giant's gonna tank.
But there's so much damage. I think Barbarian's on top of all of this is the next
log
drop.
as well.
Oh, and the Tombstone to buy as much time as humanly possible.
Oh, there's only 5 seconds.
Darthjarjar just going for it, but Goat only has he just gets down to it, but that is all he needed, and it's gonna be Goat moving on to the finals against Lupanji. Congratulations, Darthjarjar, so close. And again, I love in these moments where it's not it's like all Goat sees. I just gotta play defense. I just gotta play defense right now. his whole strategy out the window. Just got defended against it. Gets down to the final seconds. Congratulations.
How you feeling?
Moving on.
Rainey, how you feeling over there about your predictions?
You know why?
Don't done.
I don't want Rainey's bad predictions to let people forget that the Cleveland Indians blew a 3-1 lead in the World Series. I just like to bring that up.
Oh, wow.
As a Warriors fan, I've had to hear a lot of 3-1 jokes over the summer, so I just like to remind everyone the Cleveland Indians blew a 3-1 lead. So what you did, not
bad.
so
Not
bad.
nearly, perspective, guys.
Terrible.
Perspective.
You
All right,
have
let's pull up our
millions
first
of fans.
replay here of that semifinals match.
GOAT has been interesting. I mean, I think for both our semifinalists as well as GOAT, really good positioning on minors as well. And I really like the fact that he brought Barbarians to the table and is making it work. He's playing it now in the finals. GOAT has impressed just because he seems to have very good line of play.
Yeah, I mean, this ironically, a deck with 4 Musketeers and a Mega Minion really struggled to stop that Giant over and over again, and his Giants were not nearly as effective against the Tombstone. That's really unfortunate. The story of Darthjarjar's competitive career is one of consistently falling just short. Never won a Super Magical Cup, but finished second multiple times. Finished second at the Super Magical Cup Season 2 Championships.
Oh, wow.
Falling to C. McHugh in the finals. After being up, I think, in the first game, no less, too. He's made, I believe, the finals here before. Top 4 today. At the King's Cup, he was number 1 in the final heat for the first, 35, 40 minutes and finished, I think, 10th when the top 8 made the cut. So,
no!
Has there been a consistent mistake? Something he needs to work on?
I mean, like other players like Woody, he's really committed to the Three Musketeers archetype, so his performances are always sort of tied to how good Three Musketeers are at any given time.
Sure.
But I think that if you're watching at home and you're like me, you like to see these underdogs just finally break through. It's going to be one of those things where when he does take home a big title, there's going to be a crowd cheering behind it. Yeah.
It's also like the most amazing lore in Star Wars history. If you guys aren't familiar with it, go over on the internet and check it out because it's a fascinating story. Darthjarjar.
Don't spoil Rogue One now.
Yeah, congratulations for making it this far. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, chat. Congratulations for making this far, but you are not going on to the finals. It's going to be GOAT versus Lupanji. It's the night of newness here.
Yeah.
The night of our 2 new players in the Clash Royale North American Open making it all the way to the finals. Again, one step closer to $2,000 and that title. But again, if you guys are like, oh, Darthjarjar, oh no, we're never going to see you again. That's not true. You guys do have the chance. After tonight, we have 5 more coronation days. Tomorrow, Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then finally, the 17th is our final one, Thursday at 8 o'clock. So, again, 5 more chances for Darthjarjar to show up and finally claim a victory, as he so much deserves.
Yes, but we have this final match right now. What is it looking like?
Well, we had 5 repeat performers in the top 8, and out of the 5 repeat performers, none of them make the finals. 2 of the 3 newbies make it.
And Barbs.
Barbs have made it in their
Barbs made
debut.
finals.
And after Goblin Barrel claiming the first title in our last Coronation Day, we got double Goblin Barrel players, so Goblin Barrel is going to take another title. Is that 3 in a row, actually? I think we saw.
Oh, wow.
That's
At least 2 in a row.
Brady's just
2 in a row.
tattooing it on his arm. But here's the 2 decks. So it looks like we're going GOAT as the player to watch. Rainey, go ahead and tell me why.
I think that GOAT has very good decks. He's built great decks for the meta right now. What's going to be interesting to watch is Barbarians are great. They do a ton of damage, but they have short, stubby arms and stupid little swords, and they can't actually hit.
Whoa!
Ouch.
Barbarians, don't listen to that. You are.
They actually can't hit
the air?
air units.
Sure.
How are you going to deal with a Lava Hound minion deck?
It's a very good point. That deck also has log in it, so you're right.
Yeah.
GOAT's giant deck really needs to play against the minor Three Musketeers deck if he wants to take home like a win with that, because if it gets to a situation where he's got to beat the Lava Hound deck with the giant deck, that could get really ugly. But remember, it's a best of 5 in the finals.
That's right.
So both players will have the option, they have to win 3 games, and they'll have the option to win twice with one deck, but they still need to win with both at some point.
Yeah.
We've seen this in the finals before where players really jockey back and forth, often switching decks multiple times within the finals matchup in order to try to
Keep that mind game
gamesmanship
up.
their opponent.
Yeah.
Mind games everywhere.
And again, Lupanchi, though, tonight, kind of his story has been just barely at the final moments, just squeaking by, getting win, squeaking by, getting win. We'll see